Yes, very quickly some notes on the day-to-day. First of all, I'm impressed by your patience and your interest expressed towards different project presentations, because we had a lot of them. And in the first place, it was moderators through the random sessions, and it was great. Thanks again to your time invested engagement in preparing the sessions and moderating the sessions. Thanks again for your and you see the participation, almost none of them left, and they were all there. Even the breaks were followed as scheduled. So that was a great job. Apart from that, you started the work, and you were very interested in working on commonalities between the project and common challenges and what our future needs. And which is a very good and very solid starting point to see what the best practice in other projects do to look beyond your projects. As a next step, again, we take as best practice that within the group you may coordinate your activities for future events, for future big events. So I would really appreciate that that is done bottom up by you and in a coordinated fashion. Secondly, we want to discuss more on the break, how to communicate all your ideas now back to EFRA, back to the Commission. Again, in an ideal case, I would not have many different personal views from different participants in the project, from different projects. If we're working on a more solid, consolidated position of different groups, and then we come and try to channel the personal feedback from the discussion within the group and then towards the Commission and the EFRA. That would also be very helpful in updating the agendas and bringing the agenda closer to the needs of the community and the need of the industry. My other point. What I haven't seen so much today was to the communication to a broader audience, to start with some success stories. We have some success stories, but really success stories which could be brought up to the press. Also what I've seen some difficulties, how you unease the social media, how to use that. So I think that could be discussed in this group in the future, and we'll discuss it again to some future events. And also the move towards RISE 2020 implies also the integration between research, development, and innovation. So what are your innovation needs? And that's of course not quite so. From our point of view, we have to answer what are the innovation instruments, so what we have to offer you, and from your point of view, what is your innovation needs? I think we had some slight discussion of that in the last session, session C, where we have to bring to practice the acceptance of collaborative cloud-based platforms for different reasons. So that would be one need, but for the other groups it was widely not really discussed. On project sides, we have seen and I appreciate there was a very, very useful exchange of project achievements and project challenges. We were very keen to tell us what were the main challenges in the project, and many of the others were very keen to listen. What's your approach, how you deal with the difficulties, and what are the industrial domains you're working in? What I got the feeling that the impact of the project is a bit always left to the end, because you're dealing with technical challenges. That's quite natural. And generally speaking, what I found as a very good example was in the last session that you start with an industrial need. So this industrial example, that is our idea to be implemented there. That works, and that will generate additional services. So here, the industrial needs, industrial drivers should be more emphasis also in the project presentation in the first place, and then it's easier then to talk about impact later on. And again, I think the exact question, what is here? Anticipate innovation support if the project will end. So if it ends and then you think about innovation support, I think it's too late. You have to anticipate these actions already during the course of the project. So that is basically my comments or my thinking about the day-to-day. So what's left for the future? What I learned in break already is we might need some more time for discussion. I think there's a general need to talk more and to do networking. What also would be nice to look at the low-hanging fruits, because you can easily build stories across projects. Some projects, for instance, in the area of furniture furniture building or the area of shirts in the textile industry across projects. And to sell these project stories rather than to go project by project. And the question is, what do we need another event of this? Repeating the event without inflating the number of events. So we have to think about that very carefully. Again, I think I expressed that already, that what is the competitive advantage of you industrial players in the first place in the projects. I think it was an easy communication from the FOF project in Ireland that, the launch of A350, I think that's a big milestone for the industry, for the European aerospace industry, and then it's easy also for you to make a link to your project and pass it to the press. Think about it in the future. If these events happening to go on that and to benefit from that. Apart from that, we select rapporteurs, and we expect some maximum two-page message, capture the key messages on that, and we try to structure the bit, but don't worry if there are gaps in the report. I think it's a spotlight. It's a spotlight of the event today. It would be nice to have something written where everybody can comment. And last but not least, there was some expression to, if we have this group dynamics and discussion with the group, how we can support that with ICT tools or with the web presence. So we'll think about it, particularly in the context of some support actions that will explain what I mean with that one. So what are the next steps? I think we have to find a balance in the Horizon 2020 between the lead industrial technologies, the societal challenges, and the excellence in research. Apart from that, we have to find a balance between research, development, and innovation. And here, particularly the fourth PPP, it's a public-private partnership between the private side and the public side. Of course, the industry is continuing doing its research. For some topics, they need collaboration, they get some public support within FP7 as well as within Horizon 2020. But beyond the research and development, we have this innovation part on the right side. And here, public support will be through innovation measures which are still to be experienced, still to be defined in greater detail. And there's also a private investment in local innovation centers. And it was said today that innovation has to take place on a local level. So you need the local presence, and many of that is already present through private investment to private partnership between industry and local innovation incubators or living labs like it over there. So what we need for the future is to map that and to support that and to define strategy, how to balance the different instruments and the research. How do we want to do that? I think there are coordination support actions to support this. And that is explained over here. We have a coordination support action in the area of research and development, which is Pathfinder, mainly dealing with digital tools and simulation. And one of the main context points today is Dominic, who's over there. Then we have support action supports the I4MS innovation support measures for SMEs, manufacturing SMEs. And there's also CSA called I4MS, and Sylvia is one of the main context points, and that's called Osalo. We have Explore, CSA, which only deals with how to support the end of the project towards the innovation uptake on the market. And last but not least, we have Road to Fame, which is sort of a continuation of Action Plan T. And I think there's a kind of wording from the coordinator of Road to Fame, which is basically the last topic we want to address today. So I pass the floor to Kristen. Do you want to say a word?
Thank you, Rolf. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to announce Road to Fame for a couple of more minutes of your attention. Road to Fame is a coordination support action. The central product of Road to Fame is going to be a roadmap centered around the topic of IT architectures and services in manufacturing. Christian. I work for Steinway's. I work for Steinway's which is a technology transfer center located in the south of Germany. We are coordinating the project. We've been doing quite a few road mapping projects in the past and have the pleasure of conducting this one as well. Why architecture and services in manufacturing? Well, it is our understanding, we're all, of course, convinced that IT or ICT technologies in general offer a great innovation potential in the manufacturing sector. But what we do need are the right architectures to actually enable the capabilities of ICT in the manufacturing domain, right? An architecture specifies the structure of the manufacturing ICT system. It specifies the functional components within that system, and therefore also determines the functionalities that an ICT manufacturing system is ultimately able to deliver, or will not be able to deliver at all. If we're using an unsuitable architecture, we may well be prevented from leveraging the ICT innovation potential in manufacturing. So this is kind of making the case for architectures and services here, so look at that. So as Rolf mentioned, we are going to build on the action plan results. SAP is also a project partner. We are going to be within the FOF framework, but we're going to elaborate a little bit on this IT architecture and services topic. Just to give you an overview of some of our objectives, I already mentioned this roadmap. It's going to be specifically about architectures and services that will enable manufacturing businesses to leverage the benefits of context-aware enterprises, that will ease interoperability, that will enable manufacturing businesses to be more sustainable. So this is kind of the little focus that we put. We will, along the way, we will also do some bottom-up work. The second point mentioned here, so we're going to ask ourselves what the needs of manufacturing businesses are and into what requirements this translates regarding architectures and services. We're also going to look at novel paradigms and concepts that come up in the ICT world in general, and going to ask ourselves, how can we make, what does it take to make these work for manufacturing as well. Along the way, we expect to contribute to building a constituency of people united basically by the challenges of finding or having the suitable architecture in manufacturing. We're also, services has been mentioned numerous times today already. We're also going to not only look at the industrial sector, but also at the service sector. We're going to ask ourselves what business services and business models are required in order to make certain architectures and services work properly. And lastly, it is our understanding that the manufacturing domain is fairly conservative in terms of the uptake of novel approaches. So in the course of the project, that's something we would like to do, raise awareness for novel concepts that could be suitable architectures also in the manufacturing domain. I'm not going to walk you through our approach in general. You're all hungry, you're all tired. I really appreciate still your attention. The only thing I really would like to point out is how crucially dependent we are on your expertise, on the expertise of your project partners, in order to develop a valid roadmap here. We have numerous events where we need external expertise. In fact, we need it all the way through the process. And this is where I would really like to encourage you to become a member of what we call the Road to Fame Experts Group. basically a group of people that we would like to involve throughout the entire process in road mapping, in expert panels, in expert interviews, in road mapping workshops. I can promise you from other road mapping initiatives that we conducted that participants have usually found this intellectually quite stimulating. You will, of course, not least be able to contribute to forming future FOF, because that's basically the main function we perform to inform the FOF program. Get very brief. Thank you very much for your attention at this late hour. Thank you very much, and enjoy dinner.